Oxnard.
Oh, I'm Dexter.
Level seem
Hi.
fine. Sometimes good to just jump right in. you
Yeah.
know?
Just fuck it, man. Do it.
Boss is away
Away.
this week.
Away.
And next week, too, right?
I think so. Yeah, he's
I think he quit.
on a,
I was thinking, like, he
he quit our friendship.
remember he said, like, oh, I want to save the episodes, but, you know, I have to watch them when it comes. But it turns out that's what he's going to be doing anyway.
Yeah.
So he got his wish.
Yes.
He's not here, but you got us.
Sorry.
But that's what a team does. See, when one guy, the others take up the reins.
Pick up the slack.
Mm-hmm.
So you
guys done it for me, I'll do it for Boss.
He's here. Hey, what's going on?
Me and Boss have done it together. We've done it twice.
Oh,
Classic
yeah?
episode.
Yeah?
All right, let's go.
Let's
Game
do
of
it.
Thrones. You think Daenerys is the hottest one?
I like boobs. Boobies.
He's going to be enraged when he listens.
The first words he said to his wife when he saw her. I like boobies. Yeah.
Marriage? Huh?
Boring. Let's go. That's what he would be saying. He'd want us to stop this nonsense. It's gonna be a long fucking night. Oh, thought you were gonna hold off on your drink.
I was going to hold off on the hard liquor, but I'll have a beer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Fair enough.
You know me and hard liquor. Makes me hard.
Quicker.
And I have to liquor. What?
Oh,
That was horrible.
Oh, God. Disgusting.
Such things.
What a repulsive image.
We're going to jump into the comments.
This is a two-parter. Because we weren't...
Should it be a two-parter or just a massively long one? Well, you can tell if you look at the timestamp.
Oh, yeah, two-parter. Oh, yeah, well, a massively long one. Like in my pants? No! God, get out of here, you creep!
All right, now that everyone has clicked off the video, we can
Yes.
finally start.
Oh, God. All right, yeah, nobody's here anymore. I don't know why we even are doing this in the park.
I always wanted to record outside, like, during the summer. Like, we just take out the mic outside, talk amongst the trees and the birds.
In the government.
All right. Ocularius, he said this a week ago, so this has to do with episode 4.
Right, our last discussion.
Yes. I thought they were just outside of King's Landing. Right before the battle, Randall Tarley says that the gold is safely within the walls. He's talking about that big trade train battle.
Oh, that was attacked.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, that was... Wow, so that feels like forever ago.
Yes.
That we talked about
he
that.
felt it was right outside King's Landing. I don't think it is.
No, because you can see Highgarden in the background.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
So they just received word
Ocularis.
that it was delivered.
Because I thought... Wait, they received word...
Sam's dad was there, and he told Jamie,
Grace.
Your Grace, the gold
That the gold was delivered?
right there at the King's Landing.
I'm very confused this season about where people are and how fast they get there.
Oh, we'll be getting...
We're going to get into that. I thought...
Really
he
into
could
that.
very well be right. I thought that Bronn is like, oh, I want a fucking castle like that. As my terrible Bronn impersonation. I want a fucking castle.
Oh, boy.
Oh, you fucking cunt. Because I thought he was pointing to Highgarden in the background. That's what I thought. But
Yeah,
what do
I think
know?
you're right.
What do I know? Enemy Mine was the other thing. That was the movie. He was just shouting the title of the movie that we were talking about. That Dennis
so you had the
Quaid movie.
comments.
This is the inventor. One of two comments the inventor left. Just a wee heads up. That guy from the YouTube channel
Scala Gladiatoria.
I like how you can barely read when you're reading the comments, but Scala Gladiatoria just rolls right off your tongue.
Because if you watch his channel, he'll say it, hey, hello, you're watching Scala Gladiatoria. Like,
Scala Gladiatoria! Oh, hello! Oh, God. God damn it, I've contracted Scala Gladiatoria. Oh, no. All right, well, anyway, this guy, I've never heard of it. Sounds interesting, though. I like the name so far.
it's great.
Does his sword fight breakdown of Arya versus Brienne? Ooh, that's interesting. According to him, it's arguably the most accurate fight scene they've had on the show so far. Apparently, Needle could easily block a longsword wielded by Brienne. That is...
It was interesting.
I'm going to have to watch that.
You should watch. He does
I wanna watch
really
that
good
anyway.
ones, and he does on the battles too. And he'll do other movies too where there are like sword fights. But he's
Interesting.
he's a collector. I think he has like a regular job, but he collects medieval weaponry. He has a great video I watched about Gendry's Warhammer.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get into that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But, that was because it was funny. We were saying, like, this isn't realistic. Brienne should have cut Needle in half. But apparently, like, Needle...
I got to watch the video to understand, this, so this guy can break down the science, I guess, for me, because I still can't picture it.
Yeah,
this little
works.
girl, did they get into that? How she's like a third of her size?
Ooh, I forget if he did.
Maybe if Scala Gladiatoria...
Maybe just
there.
because she's like a harder target. Like in D&D, I always imagine like if I'm an ogre and like 3 gnomes are trying to attack me, like it would be kind of hard to like hit them, right?
Oh, and they'd be jumping all over you like that?
Like flipping around like Yoda in the prequels.
Right, yeah. The whole point of the prequels is just to get Yoda to flip about. Won't do it.
TechTF says, I didn't believe the code was the code at first. Thanks for the link to the new episode of D&D with STS. He's cracking wise. Hey, if you put in the code, follow the link in the description for your secret image of the week.
Yeah,
that's the code. And also, if you didn't put the code and you're listening, you can still click that link. So
I guess
not a special code at all. Really.
I guess a select few did everybody a favor.
Remember when we first started, we would read a single line from the book, and you had to guess
oh, man,
which character said it?
A bunch of losers.
And then we realized that you can just Google the quote and instantly just have the character.
Oh, man, we were getting ripped off. I think we tried to give away an old can one time. Surprisingly,
oh yeah, you were drinking
no
like a Pepsi,
yeah,
and you could have had a Pepsi that Dexter's lips had touched.
Yeah, a cherry Pepsi.
Yes,
you're a loss.
Oh man,
I still have it. waiting for somebody. A weird crust has formed around the rim.
It's alive.
So do that and see what you get.
And I like Inventor's last comment here.
All right, the Inventor returns for another glorious comment.
Dun, dun, dun.
He says,
the Inventor.
People used to point and make incest jokes about hillbillies, etc. Now, thanks to George Martin, half the world's arguing amongst themselves whether Jon should be with Daenerys or Sansa. As if shagging your aunt or cousin was perfectly normal. 96 wow 70.
Follow that code.
Looks like everybody's
That's true. I forget.
Nailing the code.
I forget that Daenerys is basically his aunt.
Yeah, basically.
It is his aunt.
It is. Yeah, not basically, it is.
Yeah.
Essentially.
It's crazy.
On every level.
And it's also weird to think, like, these two guys that Daenerys burns up in the beginning of this episode is Sam's brother and dad, right?
Yeah. Isn't that funny? That doesn't make sense that that's Sam's brother.
It does. It makes perfect sense. Imagine Sam is your one kid, and then that guy's your other kid.
Yeah.
I understand. Well, not me personally, but if I was an asshole dad, I'd be like, this fat fuck doesn't even want to ride a horse.
All he does is read.
And show
Why
him my
can't
door.
I have a real son like this guy? He can't read a word.
He
That's
shows
a man.
up, steals my sword. It's my birthright, Gilly.
They don't have the same accent. They don't look anything alike. Lord Tarly looks nothing like either of his children.
Well, genes are crazy, man. You're right. You're completely right. All right.
Anyway, he continues. There's more. Also, the burning of supplies. Didn't they agree? I'm assuming they meaning Daenerys and everybody, like in the prep room, in the war room at Dragonstone, right?
See the big board.
Exactly. The big table.
See the big dragon.
The Russian ambassador?
You got a little Lannister in here? He'll see the big board.
That's precisely the idea.
Dimitri. Daenerys.
Daenerys. Hello, Daenerys.
That's the message Raven sends. Yes. But one of our dragons, he went on and did a silly thing.
Well, I'll tell you what he did. He ordered his dragons to burn the Red Keep.
Oh, man, someone do Doctor Strangelove Game of Thrones parody.
We should just do it.
All right.
Too much energy. We're
Click
lazy.
the link in the
Goodbye.
description.
Oh, the entire movie. Done. In a matter of seconds. Anyway, didn't they agree that if they starved the army/civilians at King's Landing, it would be better than a direct attack by a foreign power? It would collapse from within, from rioting / unrest. I don't remember if they agreed to that.
I don't remember either, but I'll take his word for it.
Yeah, I trust you, inventor. You've yet to steer me wrong.
Except for that one time
Wow.
where he literally steered right off a cliff.
Yeah, I'm still recovering.
He was in stirrups. Stirrups? No, he was in traction.
Stirrups. That's just I'm permanently on a horse. Saddled on a horse.
What do they put women in when they go to the gynecologist? Isn't that
stirrups? I guess, is that what they call them?
Isn't it?
When they put their legs up?
Yeah. But I meant traction.
No, those are strap-ons, I want to say.
Oh,
no,
that's what goes on there.
What? I guess so. Ladies, if there are any, I think Claire is the only lady that listens to this, if she's still with us.
Occasionally, maybe.
Care to answer a very personal question for everybody?
Let's move on.
Oh, Lord! Anyway.
Good God. Eastwatch.
Good God, man.
Season 7, Episode 5, Eastwatch. Dexter, what were your thoughts on this episode?
Very little time spent in Eastwatch. Mm-hmm. I thought we were going to get a big battle in Eastwatch in this episode. Mm-hmm. I was very afraid that Tormund was going to get killed, because I think
Eastwatch.
In this episode of Eastwatch.
Well,
at Eastwatch.
The latest episode.
I thought he was going to get killed.
The latest episode or last week's episode?
Huh? No, last week's episode.
Okay.
That's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
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 Right.
Okay.
We'll get to when I thought he was going to get killed in the next episode after I realized he didn't get killed in Eastwatch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When was he going to get killed in Eastwatch?
No.
No, when?
Oh.
You said you were...
I was afraid he would.
Oh, that was just a basic...
That was my fear.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Just keep going.
Where's boss when you need him? All right, hurry up. Let's go.
Cersei's pregnant. Go.
Go. Oh, yeah, that's right. Was that this episode?
Yeah, I think she pats her tummy right here, and she's like,
for the three of us. Or something, right? Was that?
It was like, we gotta do it for this, and at first I was like, for your veg, and I was like, oh no, a baby's in there.
Yeah, I just had a sandwich.
Do it for this hoagie.
I don't want to lose my lunch, Jamie.
It's me, Cersei.
Oh fuck,
Snake woman. I just had some roast beef.
Well, I'll say this: I thought this episode was okay. I'm trying to remember what happens. Oh, all right. In the beginning, Lord Tarly and his son, idiots. That's what I think. Total idiots.
Well, Tyrion later says, a night spent in a cell, maybe they would have.
I don't think so.
Around.
I think they're dumb. Also, it was too late for that because in the beginning, Daenerys has her dragon. She right away gives this ultimatum of bend the knee or die. Mm-hmm. She's gonna roast you, and then. So they're like, all right, he's the... Lord Tarly is very strict about following these honor guidelines, So there's no way he was going to cave in.
And who points out? Doesn't he point out, didn't you change sides?
Oh, yeah, maybe Tyrion or Daenerys does.
Yeah, Tyrion was trying to throw
They kind of have this small debate, the three of them, Lord Tarly, Tyrion, and Daenerys, about what to do, who's going to do, who's going to do what? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. You talk.
All right. Well, if I remember correctly, Lord Tarly was like, he didn't want his stupid son. He even says, who's this? He's like, just a stupid boy. And Tyrion is from that old world where it's like, family is very important. Daenerys is starting this new world. Well, this is that old bullshit, man.
Plus, her family, the only family she's had he was a psychopath brother.
Yeah. And so Tyrion is kind of like, look, if you do this kind of stuff, people here especially are going to be like, whoa, that's kind of ruthless and kind of sick. You shouldn't have killed his son.
That's in the inventor's point of not going crazy and just burning everybody up.
Yeah.
Let everything kind of resolve of its own volition.
Seinfeld.
Yeah. But anyway, she burns him. And that was pretty cool. But also unnecessary in the eyes of Tyrion and her small council, I guess.
What about you, the eyes of Dexter?
I didn't see a problem with it, really. I mean, she gave a speech. It made sense. It was pretty clear. I mean, there was a lot of what is not much of an actual choice there. It's still either follow me or die. Mm-hmm. But she can't appear too weak there.
Exactly.
So I thought I was okay with what she did. I thought it made sense to me. And I thought Tyrion was a little bit stepping over the line a little bit kind of arguing with her in front of everybody.
That's true, yeah.
I was like, if you're not careful, she's going to kill everybody because you can't make her look bad in front of these people.
Yeah, don't get her angry.
She's supposed to be like the ultimate authority here.
Temper tantrum lady.
And I thought it was pretty cool. Everybody's like, all right, come line up in front of the dragon.
Get your tickets now, people.
I would have kneeled before anything else. I would have been kneeling the entire time.
I
kneel first, look at me.
I would have walked up kneeling.
My queen.
Kneeled my way up there.
Yeah.
I would have cut off my legs right below the knee, so I couldn't help but constantly be on my knees on stubs.
Yeah.
Just walking around.
I only have knees for you, Daenerys.
Then we have that scene with the dragon and Jon.
Oh, so this was really cool.
Well, have you heard what the theory?
Well, no, I have. My theory was that obviously the dragon senses the Targaryen blood.
Yes. So people were saying, remember when Tyrion went to see the dragons when they were locked up and he did the same thing?
Yeah.
And so people are speculating there's going to be a twist at the end where you find out Tyrion is somehow Targaryen or part Targaryen.
And I know that's been a theory. I think that's interesting. It does explain how or why. I mean,
well, it makes you wonder.
Tywin hated Tyrion so much.
Think about Tywin sleeping around behind Tyrion's back with his prostitute, like Tyrion.
Oh, that's interesting. See, I was thinking the other way around, that Aerys slept with Tywin's wife.
That would make sense too. That explains why.
Because then she's
Tyrion
still
so much.
Because Tyrion's still kills his mother by being born.
Yep.
That's because she dies in childbirth. So he hates him for multiple reasons. One, it's not even his kid. You killed my wife, who I loved, and
that makes more sense to me.
And it's because the Mad King probably raped her. That would be my guess. And it would make sense because they're down there because he was the hand.
Yep.
I think that's probably what the theory is.
I think that's probably what's going to be going on.
Yeah. But we'll see. That would be interesting. What about the Varys? Continuing on that, there's a theory that Varys is a Targaryen.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't heard that one.
And that he shaves his head
a long,
to hide his hair, like the Duncan egg.
Robert Plant locks.
Can you imagine? Like, surprise!
I got to shave my head one day.
Removes his bald cap. Robert Plant
it's a
underneath.
Perfect job.
Oh my god!
Gonna go north of the wall right now with a bunch of guys. We're the Avengers. Okay, so you have that scene with Bran. He sends out the Ravens over the Eastwatch, so he sees the army. You want to start getting into this?
I'm
this
confused
article?
by Bran's stuff here. There's another thing. Also, we see. Well, let's just start talking about this stuff because otherwise I'm going to lose track. Everything's jumbled together for me anyway.
Yeah.
Everybody's seen both episodes at this point, so I think they'll be all right.
Yeah.
We don't have to itemize each scene. But what we just saw too, so now Daenerys is back from Highgarden, talking to Jon Snow. Then Jorah Mormont shows up, and he just got from Old Town.
Yeah.
Old Town
is on
the other side of the continent,
across the sea. You have to go.
Either you go like around, down, underneath, like the southernmost tip of Westeros, and then you come back up, and you're on Dragonstone. Because aren't they on the other opposite coasts? Is that right?
Old Town is on the west coast, and then Dragonstone is off the coast of the east coast.
Yeah. So how the fuck did he just show up there? He just left Old Town. Then we have now in the most recent episode where Jon Snow has now met up with the Hound and the Brotherhood without banners.
Gendry.
And Gendry is there because we'll get into the Gendry's there with his warhammer because what's his name?
Davos,
come with me. I've got business.
On your knife.
Flea bottom.
My breath is marvelous.
And he goes and grabs Gendry, which was a very disappointing ending to it. I didn't care, but I just thought it was pretty funny. Like all the speculation about where's Gendry? Where's he rowing? Some say he's still rowing, and all this stuff about the theory about where is Gendry, all this kind of business, just gone. He just went right back home.
Yeah, just went right
and
under
he's
their
been
nose.
blacksmithing the whole
Which
time.
some people would say is the best place to hide.
I don't remember. Then he's like, "Oh, you were right." So Gendry sounds. You were right, Davos.
He looked like Jesse Pinkman to me a little bit with that shaved head.
Oh yeah,
There's
you
some
think so?
angles,
Yeah.
Mr. White,
Yeah, yo,
Hey,
Davos,
Davos.
what's up?
let's cook.
Got a
bitch.
hammer, bitch. Like my dad. It's like, oh, you were right, Mr. Davos.
Gendry,
The best place to hide is right under their nose.
follow your nose.
Oh, he knows. You better go back to Flea Bottom. Hide right there. They'll never see you. I don't know. I don't remember that scene where Davos is telling him, "Oh, go back to Flea Bottom. Hide under Cersei's nose. She'll never know you're there. She can't
That's what he
smell.
said?
She can't smell a thing."
Is that what he implied by saying?
Yeah,
Like,
Gendry says that, I believe.
all right.
I don't know. That was weird to me. And then it was just kind of disappointing, I guess. But whatever, not a big deal. And then he's like, "Oh, I want to come." Basically, he can't do anything except blacksmith, and he wants to. He's tired now that he knows who he is. He's Robert Baratheon's bastard. He's tired of doing nothing. All this craziness is going on. He's tired of sitting around in Flea Bottom, just smithing away, I guess.
And so the second Davos shows up, he's like, "Yes, I'll go. I've been waiting, and I knew when the time happens,
Yeah.
I knew what I was going to do."
See, what did
This
you
is it
think
right
he
now.
thought was going to happen?
I thought
That
Davos,
he was going to be king or something? Because that's what I was
Oh,
like, is this
no.
guy about to be disappointed?
No, I think he just. No, I don't think he expects that at all. He just wants something different. He's just doing the same thing, and so he's
Yeah.
like, you know what? I have this skill. Let me do the skill over there. At least then I'm doing something. He wants to be part of the bigger part of the world because he wanted to join the Brotherhood without banners.
Oh, but they sold him.
Yeah, they sold him off. So he has something in him where he wants to be an activist of some type.
Yeah. And
then
he's got a
he's-
big old hammer.
He goes to Dragonstone, then all of a sudden
then
he's
they're
up
back
there.
from King's Landing to Dragonstone, then back up to the wall now, all of a sudden. It's just like ping, pong, boom, ping, ping, ping,
Yeah,
pong,
so
boom,
this was
poof.
an article.
And,
It says Game of Thrones director admits the show's timeline is straining plausibility.
oh boy, is it ever.
Of all the shocking moments of the latest Game of Thrones, the fact that they all occurred in the same episode, even a 75-minute one, seems to be the most throwing viewers for a loop. The truncated 7th season was destined to have more rushed or inconsistent pacing than usual, but lately it feels like we're still trying to work out the math for the speed of the Ravens and Bran's time spent north of the Wall. And it's true. It's especially with the latest episode when they're standing with the zombies. You want to just talk about that?
Yeah,
Sam?
so,
Okay, well, first let's talk about
this latest episode.
the most fan service-y thing that happened at the end of last week's episode. It is the Avengers. Let's get these super awesome characters that everyone
Yeah.
loves, and let's all put them in one spot
Yeah.
and throw them into danger.
Yeah, in the
Which-
worst plan ever thought of.
And the most nonsensical plan
make any fucking
that is
sense.
foiled. That this is how you foil it. You know, you show up with a wight in front of Cersei, and she goes, "I don't. What trick is this? Go away."
Yeah.
Boom.
Right, done.
Pointless plan.
Yeah.
Risking so many lives.
but we're gold.
And I think they talked about it before. Not the Blackfish. Who was the guy who hated Jon Snow in like season 1 and 2?
Oh, not Janos Slint, but Alistair Thorne.
Alistair Thorne.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, Janos
remember
Slint did too.
when Jon killed that wight who came alive?
Yeah. Yes.
He actually sent an arm
Yeah.
to King's
And
Landing.
it rotted away.
It rotted away before it got there. So
Yeah.
they tried to do that. So maybe
What's the plan?
I don't know. I guess the plan would have worked then because all they needed then was more support. But now I don't see how that plan. Because Cersei's, I don't get it, man.
Here's the thing.
It's the most poorly written thing in
Who
this show
gives
so
a
far.
shit if Cersei believes it or not? You know she's not going to fucking go for anything. She's going to be like, no, you fucking deal with it. I'll sit here and wait. This is your loss. I don't care if we all die. You take care of it then. That's what I would say if I was her. Like, I'm not going to give any resources to this. Go ahead and take care of it. And if you survive, well, then goody. And then you're all the more weaker for me to fight then.
Because
maybe.
if I'm Cersei, I'd be like, I would understand, like, okay, let's all unify so we can fight this common threat. But as Cersei, I would think, like, no, let all them worry about it.
Exactly.
And wait it out, see what bothers them. And if they don't win, then we can always just flee or go somewhere or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
If I was Cersei, I'd totally stay out of
Did
it
they sand
until I
snake it?
absolutely had to be involved.
Did they
Yeah,
sand
a little
snake
bit.
the plot?
Yeah. Well, look, the most recent episode was a bit. I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. This is all like real nitpicky, I guess. I mean,
I enjoyed it too, but it really does.
I enjoyed watching it, but it was got lazy. This season has had some laziness to it. in the writing to me.
To me, it feels like,
And-
whereas in the past, these dramatic moments would occur, and it would always feel like the buildup was so perfect, so that when it happens, you were like, whoa. Now it just feels like something major happens, something major happens, something major happens.
I mean, and that's also...
It wasn't really earned.
Yeah. I mean, that also... I mean, I guess the thinking is, too, we did earn all this because this is it. We're, like, near the end. So now everything should be kind of coming to a head. You know what I mean? But I know what you mean.
I almost wish with the earlier seasons had less episodes, and then as they went on, they would make the seasons longer.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that it's bad.
No.
Just that
no.
it's not as intelligent as I remember it being.
Trust me, I've enjoyed every episode. This is all just...
This is very nitpicky.
We're just hanging out talking about nitpicking. But it does bother me a lot, this timeline thing, and that everybody can just appear wherever they want to be at once. And it's highlighted a lot in the most recent episode with this Gendry, we're in trouble. We went on this horrible plan. That's what I mean. The writing is a bit lazy. They're rushing to get to these points, like to what you're saying, so they can have these big moments, and without the same build-up. It's like almost like they feel rushed, I think.
I don't know if they feel rushed or they just wanted to put more money into each episode.
I don't know what it is. But anyway, so now Jon Snow and the Avengers are up in the north beyond the wall. They're on this terrible plan to go find one wight to bring it back so they can send it south so Tyrion can show Cersei, hey, this is real. This is what's going on. So that she can just say, like you said, that's such a good point. I never thought of that.
What kind of puppetry is this? It's a puppet. Burn it. Burn the puppets. I hate puppets.
It's a mother's farce. I hate puppets.
I know a mere schnock when I see one. It's me, Cersei.
Also, then the mountain is just going to grab Tyrion and pop his head like a grape.
Yeah, and then the other thing I was thinking is, because the mountain isn't undead, right? He never died. Qyburn just kind of kept him alive. And
yeah, you're right. I don't think he actually died.
Okay, so I was thinking, like, doesn't she know?
I don't think he did.
I don't know if Qyburn saw like a wight, maybe that would intrigue him, and he can like curry favor with her.
Very intriguing. Maybe.
Probably, yeah. I mean,
but so anyway, this episode it was very predictable and then lazy with this timeline business because it's like, here, Gendry, we're in trouble. We're going to be surrounded by the massive army.
Yeah. Let's think about it logically. Like, okay, they leave the wall.
Mm-hmm.
However long it took them to meet the bear, okay, I don't know how long that was. Even though along the way, I love the dialogue between all these guys who have all heard of each other but never met. Like, they met like each other's fathers. I thought that stuff was good. That was nice.
The Jorah. How stupid was that Jorah and Jon Snow scene?
What, with the sword?
Yes!
Why?
Because Jon Snow, that was a total, in my mind, I guess I'm just thinking of it, Jon Snow's walking up and he's like, oh, Jorah, you know, your father gave me this sword. I love you, Joe. Your father gave me this sword. It's not mine. It's yours. You know, all this business. And he takes the sword off and the belt, and he gives it to him, and there's another small dagger there that's attached to it. Mm-hmm. And then, what's he going to do? Now you have no weapon. Yeah. Also, you know that... Does Jorah know that sword is capable of killing the White Walkers?
That's the thing that I don't understand.
That Valyrian steel is capable of doing that?
Yeah, I would hope... I think they would have talked about it, but they didn't show it.
Well, I guess they know... Yeah, because he does do it.
He does do it, and they all see it, so they must have known. But it's true. Like, I guess maybe Jon has a couple of
what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do?
Okay.
And so then he's like, oh, and he's, you know, Jorah logically says, I brought shame to my family. I forfeited my right to this sword the moment I did what I did. He gave it to you. It's yours. Absolutely.
So however long all that took, they get to that spot, fight a bear. Thoros and Mir, he gets...
What'd you think? I didn't realize how many people were a part of this group that were not important. I didn't realize they were extras as part of this group.
You saw them when they exited in the last episode. You see a couple, like 5 or 6 guys behind them pulling
Expendables.
Like sleds. The Expendables and the Avengers
the red
get
shirts.
together. Yeah, they have red shirts from Star Trek. And then they find this lone wight with his own group, and I guess it's like Zelda rules. You beat the boss monster, the other monsters die.
Yes, that's hilarious.
Well, most of them die.
Only the ones that he turned, apparently.
Right. Okay.
Which I didn't realize that they could. So it's established that any of them, not just the Night King, can turn people or things.
Right. And so right then and there, Jon says, Gendry, you're the fastest. Run. So now Gendry has to run all the way back.
Without his hammer.
without his hammer because it would weight him down.
Weigh him down.
And Tormund takes it, and I was like, it's hilarious. Tormund's going to use the hammer. But then, the Hound starts using it.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, okay. So now he gets to the wall. Davos finds him. They write the Raven letter. They got to send the Raven out. Hope the Raven gets there in time. Hope she reads it and believes it.
How long do you think it took Gendry to run back?
I have no idea.
Because he's about to drop dead. He drops. He just makes it in time so that they can see him
it's
from
like,
the wall. And Davos comes in. Oh, this man's balls have frozen off. Quick, fetch the maester. Get him a new dick.
Who was
It's frozen.
From Greek? I think his name was Adidas. He ran he did 26-mile run on foot, and when he arrived in Athens, I think he yelled Nike, and he dropped dead because he had to deliver a message. Never heard of that? That's where Adidas and Nike come from. I'm not joking around.
It sounded like you made it up.
No,
I
think that's where we get 26-mile marathons because he ran the marathon.
Wow.
His name was Adidas. He yelled out
Nike.
Now I might be getting most of that wrong, but look it up.
He just did all of it.
Yeah,
just do it.
That's what it reminded me of.
That's hilarious.
There's a lot of Greek.
I thought you were going to say Hermes. I thought that's what you were going to say because Hermes or Mercury, the Roman.
Well, Hermes was a
name.
god, right?
Yeah, who with the speed, like the running
little feathers.
Yeah, the feathers on his shoes.
The other thing that reminded me of Greek was
first I thought you were going to say the thing that reminded me of Greece. And I thought you were going to talk about the movie Grease, starring John Travolta.
We gotta go north of the wall. Get a zombie out there. Gotta find the wight now to show Cersei. Gotta find the wight. Yes, we do.
Oh boy!
But I don't know if it's the Iliad or the Odyssey, where Odysseus returns back home after his grand adventure.
That's the Odyssey.
That's the Odyssey. So that also reminds me of Arya. I think they talked about Arya returning back to Winterfell after her whole thing.
Yeah, but Odysseus wasn't a little bitch about everything when he got
That's
back.
true, but
instead he bested everybody there in a contest.
The idea was when he gets home, no one recognizes him. So even though he did all these great things, and then when he gets home, his wife.
He did take a potion, I believe.
Yeah, people are trying to sleep with his wife or something.
Yeah, Penelope.
Homer wrote some pretty cool stories back then. Homer
allegedly. Homer
right.
J. Simpson.
Yeah, so they send the
Iliad
Raven. Daenerys gets the word. She says to Tyrion, "I gotta go." Tyrion's no, you can't risk it. So now I buy that a dragon. I buy that flight is the fastest way to get somewhere.
And a dragon is going to fly there quickly. That I have no problem with. I believe that. The problem is that Jon and the rest of the Avengers are trapped on the rock in the middle of the frozen lake. The wights are not pursuing them because the ice has broken in a ring all around where the Avengers are.
Okay.
So they're on this rock.
First thing.
Yeah.
Well, there's many things I could bring up here.
I know what you're about to say. Go ahead.
First of all, have we ever seen the undead use a bow and arrow?
Oh, I don't think so.
No? Okay.
No, that's an excellent idea.
Dragon glass looks like it's very easy to chip and make into perfect arrowheads. Did no one think of making a bunch of arrows just to have? Maybe launch one at the Night King right there. Get a sniper position.
God damn it.
Okay. There's more I could bring up, but what are some of your concerns?
Well, I was going to say that's bullshit that they just stop. I feel like it was a little bit. It was basically, to me, what I saw was that the first row of wights,
right,
they all kind of fall in the lake, and so that's the width of what's broken, right? So they could easily jump over that gap.
Right. Also,
that's the length that they have to cover.
There's that part where you see two wights who have been in the water jump out of the water and grab Tormund.
Later on, they come out. There's another because the Hound makes a hole in the ice, and then two wights pop out of it from it that had fallen in. So they're already there,
implying that they can swim.
Frozen? Yeah. Or no, they just walked. Oh no, but they have to get up. I'm assuming there that
it's shallower. Shallower because it's closer
walks
to shore,
and then it gets shallower, right? Because that's my assumption.
Okay, just working out the logistics here.
That's why we're here to work out the logistics.
Logistical thrones.
Gonna work out these logistics here.
I'm on it.
Get on these fucking logistics. How the fuck are these walkers swimming across? Can they fucking swim?
Okay, so
anyway, so then the big thing is Gendry. While the Avengers are on the rock, who knows how long they're just sitting there hanging out.
Mm-hmm. Almost about to freeze.
Gendry's still running back this time during this whole time, okay, then I don't know how long it takes to get a maester to send a raven, and then how long does the raven take to get to Dragonstone from the Wall? Eastwatch again.
Yes.
Is way up there. Okay.
Yeah.
It's got I mean, that's a long trip, isn't it? Now for a raven to fly all the way down to Dragonstone, then Daenerys gets the letter and says, "Oh, they're in trouble. I gotta go. All right, let me mount up the dragons, and then we'll head up there." Now, presumably, a dragon can make the flight there much quicker. I think
Yeah, I would
it
think
wouldn't
so.
take that long. But still, for all of this to happen, and then they're still just hanging out there on the rock, and then no fighting or anything has occurred yet.
Well, then the Hound does his Pippin moment from Lord of the...
Oh, and the Hound is an idiot.
Pippin
Why didn't anybody
Moria.
tell him to stop? Because they're basically saying, like, we don't have long because this water's going to freeze any minute, or something they're basically saying. And then the wights will just be able to cross again.
Yeah.
And there's more!
Yes.
The dragons come. We see the Night King. One of the other White Walkers gets his spear for him so that he can perfectly do his really cool... I like his form. The night when he throws and he kills the one dragon. That's the huge thing that happens in this episode, too.
Yes,
that was insane.
Viserion.
Okay.
The youngest dragon, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And he kills the dragon. Why couldn't he have just chucked stuff down at them the whole time?
Well, I figured those are very powerful spears, so he was saving them up. I was wondering why he didn't chuck it at Drogon, who's a still target right there in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he's doing something. He's much more intelligent than we realize, obviously.
I mean,
he has
anyway,
a
the whole
plan?
thing was kind of predictable to me, because as I'm watching, I'm thinking, well, all right, Daenerys is going to show up at the last second somehow and save the day.
Yeah.
But then she got to watch out, because one of these dragons is going to get killed. And then the Night King is going to raise one of the dragons. I was like, I knew all this was going to happen as I was watching it.
Yes.
And I'm sure many people did. If I knew this, then I'm an idiot.
You don't understand.
I'm a
Chrisley.
I don't know what's going on
Now,
here.
I've been watching this Game of Thrones. Now, I don't know what is going on here.
Is the Night King? Are those spikes coming out of his head?
There's too much nudity. You change that. You change that right now.
Oh man, you're Chrisley.
What's all the intonation?
Yeah.
I was going to say this. Is this the first time we're hearing that Dany is barren?
Oh, that was another good thing. I didn't realize that she said I'll never have children again. My wife brought that up
because I was looking
because of what the witch did to her with the Drogo.
So she could. The dragons are her children,
right?
And the witch also says this: only death can pay for life. So now that Viserion's dead, I think now she can, and I think it's going to be Jon. Obviously,
oh yeah.
I think she's already pregnant after that hand-holding.
Oh man, that was some intense hand-holding.
My queen.
And then she's like, get some rest. He's like,
Okay, I'll close my eyes right now. Oh, I'm resting now. I'm resting so hard. I'm thinking about you while I'm resting.
I was confused. I'll be honest, I missed a lot of what happened in that last scene because I couldn't hear what they were saying.
I always watch with subtitles.
I was watching her face, and then they were holding hands, and I thought they kind of said, like, I thought he was kind of like, yeah, we should get together. And then she was like, ugh. That's kind of the impression that I got.
No, what? No, that didn't happen at all.
Oh, because I couldn't hear what they were saying.
Oh, he said no. He called her first. He called her Dany, and
right.
she laughed and she's like, I can't remember the last part. Maybe it was Viserys was his name.
Yeah. Why would he think to call her that?
I don't know. It's it's another. It's a fan. It feels like a fan servicey thing because everyone online when you're talking about this, you watch GOT. Did you see what Dany did with Drojo or Baba Ba?
Jojo.
JJ equals RH plus 2 or
like, why would he even know that? Is that a? She's the only Daenerys
the
in
only way
the world, as far as we know. How would he know? Like, I'm gonna give her a nickname.
Well, I think in Game of Thrones, especially in Westeros, everyone has a nickname. That's like such a common thing. Every single character has a nickname.
It just seems suddenly so presumptuous.
Well, he might have been
And
delirious.
weird.
Maybe they gave him milk
I
of the
guess.
poppy. Like maybe he's in like a stupor from drugs for his pain.
Oh.
And so he just agreed to bend the knee. He's gonna wake up like, well, no, I didn't do that.
I didn't do that. Yeah.
You can't fool me all the time. I'll go bang out the wall.
I'm afraid you did, lad.
Here's the ring.
You also pissed yourself a bit.
I had to clean that up.
I had to clean it.
Don't let
They
it
made me
happen
clean
again.
it. I don't know why. They made me do it. I said, I'm not a fucking janitor. That's not a word here. I'm not the custodian.
Well, getting back to the Avengers. Well, let's ask this: if they were the Avengers, who would be who? Who's the Hulk? Who's Iron Man? Who's Captain America?
Well, I would say that
Who's Thor?
the Hound is the Hulk, right?
Okay.
Or maybe he's Iron Man because no. This is hard.
Yeah, that doesn't really.
There's no
correlate
real
at all.
correlation at all. You can't do no because he's always very witty to me.
Maybe Gendry
The
can be
Hound.
Iron Man because he can like move the fastest. He has rockets. Jon Snow, I think, is
Guys, call me Iron Man. All right, who's Goose and who's Iceman?
Who's
Let's do a Top
Jarvis?
Gun. Who's Jarvis? Oh God.
I love the scene where Tormund was talking about Brienne to the Hounds.
Oh, man,
I really hope
that
the
was
Hounds
hilarious.
and Tormund become like really good friends.
And that they double team Brienne.
Is
Is that the rest of that sentence? It looked like that's what you wanted to say.
No, I just wanted to
That's
be
what
good
it looked
friends.
like. No, yeah.
Damn, he could read my mind.
I thought it was hilarious. I love Tormund, and then he almost dies in this episode. He almost because
Yeah, but I actually wasn't scared. I was like, "There's no if they kill him." Honestly a part of me I was like, "I might be done with this,"
really.
because I was like, "This is such a nonsensical plan for something I know is probably not going to work." And while it's happening, you kill off like the coolest guy. I would have still watched for the Hounds. But yeah,
I don't know. Tormund. I really did think Tormund was going to get dragged under the water. That's what I thought.
No.
And he was going to. I don't know how Jon. Speaking of dragged under the water.
Speaking of nonsensical, doesn't make any sense, and just avoiding all
so
laws of
confused.
physics and how the human body works in contact with freezing cold water. You can't breathe. The second you enter, you go into shock.
Have you You're right. That's like what jumped in a pool or a cold lake or the ocean.
Yeah.
And it's cold. It is like it is such a shock to the system.
And he's wearing so many layers, instantly getting soaked, that would weigh you down.
Sinking. Also, there's two fucking wights or whatever zombies things dragging him down there.
Right. But again, maybe it's the Lord of Light. He's not ready to die yet.
Ah, maybe.
That's the other thing. It's fantasy. You got to throw in those elements.
No, I do. But then they're like prying, like they're cutting him out of his clothes, and you can hear the crunching because they're all frozen.
Oh, yeah. I found that very satisfying for some reason.
Also, what happened to the horse? Because the horse would have been soaking wet from him. I'm surprised that the horse made it that far.
What's a strong horse? We got to talk about Benjen, who saves him at the last second.
Oh my
Now-
God, Benjen, you have plenty of time to get away with him.
I think...
Plenty of time.
There's the thing, because remember when Benjen
fuck.
saved Bran, he said, like, the Three-Eyed Raven told me to be here to save you. So I have a feeling Bran was watching all this unfold, so he told Benjen, he contacted Benjen again. Because Benjen, what is he? He's like part white. He's not fully undead
Yeah,
yet.
Benjen is like, that's what I thought. He's a wight,
Cold
but
hands.
it didn't like fully work? Or did one of the children convert him? That's maybe what I was. Maybe the children of the forest
Saved
got
him, or-
better. They saved him, or they perfected turning people
Maybe.
into that. I don't know. And
I don't know.
maybe the three-eyed raven is the one that turned him. That's why I'm thinking the children. That's where my whole thought process was going.
So if
'Cause
that's the
maybe,
case, I was thinking, like, maybe he can just travel with those groups kind of unnoticed. And so maybe he was kind of, like, there the whole time. Just kind of watching. Yeah, he was just watching it maybe, and then, like, he just goes into action with his horse. I don't know.
I don't know, but he definitely could have gotten away.
In the books, wasn't his horse undead too?
I think so. Cold Hands.
Cold Hands was his name in the book. But
and Sam is hanging out with him for a while, and then he helps
yeah.
Bran. I believe, right?
Yeah, Sam meets Bran north of the wall. Yeah,
Yeah.
they all kind of meet together there
Yeah.
for a little bit.
And I don't know. I don't remember. It's all again a little bit. It's getting a little bit ridiculous here.
Yeah, well, so much happens. This is interesting. This is in the past episode from last week. This Gilly and Sam scene.
Oh, this was hilarious.
She's talking about the shits this guy. But did you see the last little fact that she reads?
Yeah, that Sam's too pissed off to pay attention to.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, there's a maester who some prince named Rhaegar had an annulment and was secretly married because this guy kept records of everything, including like how many shits he took and how many steps were in the. Oh no, that's
perfect
yeah.
sense.
How many?
If you're like an
it was
OCD
hilarious,
maester.
Yeah. So exactly. So then he's but Sam's too annoyed and he doesn't pay attention to it.
And I love the slow zoom in on Sam's face because you think he's thinking about it, but really he's just pissed off.
Not
letting him do
listening
his thing.
at all.
Oh, you want to start talking about these other subplots with Sam and Arya? And
So Sam is
Littlefinger?
Sam. Well, we just talked about this big thing. Sam's now disenchanted with
Maesterhood?
because
Maesterism?
they get a scroll. Jim Broadbent gets a scroll and his crew, and they're talking about how was it from Daenerys or from Jon Snow?
Wasn't it from Bran? Because Bran was just
from Bran.
looking through with the ravens.
Yeah. And Sam's there serving everybody, and he starts to speak up, and he's like, "You've got to believe this because I know this person, I've met with this, blah blah blah. Everything I've seen, this means that this has to be true." And they're still skeptical, and they're actually not that snarky to him.
Well, they're overly snarky, but when he leaves the room,
Then they're like,
and they
"Ugh."
start discussing it seriously. There's
Yeah.
a fruit fly in here that's driving me nuts.
It's really
I was just
buzzing
thinking,
around
a
me.
way we can tell how much time has passed is how old Gilly's baby is getting.
He was like 2 years old though. That kid.
Yeah, but the last time we saw him, wasn't he like a little
Yeah, but I
tot?
think he's supposed to be way younger. When we come back in the next episode, he's like a teenager. You're not my real dad.
It's Toman.
Hey,
what's up?
Sam's trying to
I'm
tell
going
him
to try
something
for
to do.
basketball.
Now, listen here, little Gilly's boy. You shouldn't be doing that. You're not my real dad. Fuck off.
Isn't he named Sam? Sam Jr.?
Is he?
I think Gilly named him after Sam or something.
Name me after some bloke. I'm my real dad. Fuck off.
It's on the bloody budget. I also like how Sam takes like some random books, scrolls, just to take. I hope one of them has something important in it. Because what if it's another journal of shit information?
Oh, another book about shits.
This Maester kept track of how many times he came, Sam. 14 gallons over the course of...
And it was all drunk by some prince named Rhaegar in Dawn.
And they had an annulment?
After an annulment.
There was an orgy?
Oh, man. So, yeah, then they leave Old Town. And like you said, I agree with you completely. I hope he picked the right books.
Yeah. Have you ever seen pictures of Gilly's actress? Like normal? With
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. No,
Why?
someone was showing like Sansa and her like side by side. A lot of people are going like, "Wow, Gilly looks way hotter than Sansa." Like when she puts on makeup and stuff.
Oh,
I thought it
really?
was funny. It was just something I saw online. Some,
It's not a competition, Oxnard.
superficial.com.
They're women. They're human beings.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to trigger microaggression. Anyone?
Yeah, me. No.
Let's talk about
All right.
this Littlefinger Arya.
Man, a lot happened.
Hoochie Malucci. What the fuck?
This was so stupid to me.
Right?
I hated this.
Okay.
Arya is so fucking...
not alone.
I hate Arya right now. In these last 2 episodes.
Well, my theory is that
She's such a fucking cocky little shit.
My
Cocky
theory-
little freaks!
I'm hoping that she's playing Littlefinger and that she's smarter than. Even though her and Sansa grew up, they never really liked each other.
She hates Sansa for some reason.
But I just feel like she would be smarter than all this, and I don't feel like Littlefinger would be able to
It's the cockiness, man.
trick her. Like, yeah, it's the anger. She's doing stupid things, and also I guess she's like kind of a teenager now, so she's like, "Oh, I know everything.
I'm an adult.
You're stupid."
I trained to be an assassin. I'm an adult.
I'm Arya. I'm an adult.
I could kill you if I wanted to.
I don't care. So grody.
I'm gonna go listen to
Sansa's so grody.
I'm a firework.
I don't even know what grody means.
Probably has a much different context in Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, I like
Did you
how
grody on her?
I like how Tormund has never heard the word dick. He knows, he knows cock.
hilarious. Dick? I like dick. I bet you do.
I bet you do. Well, maybe I don't want them to be good friends. I just want them to hang out more because it's always hilarious.
They're frenemies, kind of.
No, they're not.
Frenemies.
This summer.
They're man buddies.
This- from the creators of the Emoji Movie. Frenemies.
Oh man,
I
they're
like the
friends
Emoji
with
movie a lot.
benefits.
It was really good. I've seen it twice so far.
The Emoji Movie?
Yeah, it's
What?
really good. Give it your money.
Oh man. But Arya is following Littlefinger around. She thinks she's got the drop on him, and
I noticed it seemed really noisy when she's unlocking.
I just have to quietly unlock
I
this
would've
door.
told
Crank, crank.
I would have told the Foley artist if I was a director, like, hey, yo, no, she's trying to be sneaky. You don't need to be.
Like, it's just a big hammer on a tin. Clang.
Like
clang.
I know you guys love your job making sound effects, but she's trying to be stealthy. It wouldn't be even the rustling of the papers. Like,
Yeah.
looking through a desk.
It's got to be here somewhere. Yeah.
I'm a horrible Foley artist.
This is terrible. You're just farting into the microphone.
Maybe it's in a can of beans.
How do you get a job being a Foley artist? It looks awesome.
I think you just do it, and then if you're good at it, someone goes, "Oh yeah, we need just hire this
Here's
guy."
millions of dollars.
Because so many people don't do real Foley work, especially independent filmmakers. I believe. I think they just film it. Maybe they do some ADR. But if no one really has access to like a good quiet spot with good equipment and all the stuff you need,
Because when you see like videos of Foley artists working, they are in a warehouse that then has a small recording studio in it. Looks
They probably
like.
do
because
what
they
I
have
do.
so much stuff.
yeah, they
to
do
make
what I
any
do
sound.
with like D&D. Like I just go to freesounds.com. Like everyone, but the thing is, then you're getting sounds that might be heard in another movie, like the Wilhelm scream. Oh man! So you want original sounds, but a lot of people can't afford it. It's not in the budget.
Fucking budget, but we can't afford real sounds. I'll make the sounds myself.
Get me 2 coconuts. Clip clop, clip clop, clip clop, clip clop. Ooh, that's nice.
That's Dragonfire, that is. Right when she says Dracarys, I want you to ring that fucking bell.
Dracarys.
Perfect.
Now that's in the budget. Puts on sunglasses, rides away in a Vespa. Neil Marshall, American treasure. I'm not American. It's not my budget.
You
Cunts.
Yankee twat. Cunts. Traitorous cunts.
Traitors of the crown. That's what you are.
I work for Her Majesty's government, you fuck.
Good luck with Trump. You deserve that twat, you bastard. Are you okay, Neil?
Driving his Vespa off a cliff. You fucking cut off fucking. Oh man, this guy's
we
such
need
a
it to direct
character.
the next episode. I'm still alive. I'm under the water.
You can't fucking kill me, you fucking cunt! I'll never fucking die!
I can't afford a coffin. I can't afford to die.
Can't afford to die.
Get out. Get that pine box out of here.
Just dump me in a hole of dirt.
Another criticism I have.
Here we go.
Brotherhood without banners when they're captured here in Eastwatch. How come they're not stripped of their armor, all their equipment, put into rags? Like most prisoners, you don't allow them to go in there with everything they came
I
with.
think they gave him more weapons, actually. Here's
Not
your
weapons.
machine guns.
Oh, and the other thing, my main point. No one wears hats. It's freezing.
That is incredible. I never realized that.
Isn't it like 80% of all your heat goes out
Yeah.
from the top of your head?
You would think. Well, I guess it doesn't look cool.
I
To be
understand
wearing
that's
one of those
cool,
big
but-
Russian winter hats. You know what I mean?
But some
But you'd think that they would have. They've got all kinds of. Also, the furs. If you look at the furs, some of them look like Jon Snow has basically got a bunch of rabbit furs on them. Some
Well,
of them
that's
look
warm.
pretty small.
like a sable fur.
Maybe.
I use
But,
sable brushes.
Ooh.
Sables are these cute little rabbits.
There's a lot of bunny carcasses around here.
Well, you don't kill a rabbit for his fur.
Oh.
You just,
I've been doing it all wrong.
that's not necessary.
Shit.
I need that sheep's fleece. Slit his throat.
Do it slowly.
Oh, we can just shave it and...
I said slit his fucking throat.
You know, Marshall, you're off the farm.
This summer, Neil Marshall.
I'm tending the hills. Tending the hills. That's not a thing.
Tending the hills. I'm tending them hills.
Oh, man. I like how Thoros Amir, he's like, oh, they haven't given me a drink. And he's like in the throes of like, oh,
he's got the detox. He's got the shake.
Yeah, he's like shaking and he needs a drink. Yeah.
Yeah.
Star Trek Enterprise.
There was another funny moment with the Hound and Tormund when they're talking about.
Well, when they say goodbye,
you're a fucking. He calls him something. He's like, nope, I'm a wildling. And then he's like, says, well, then I hate you because you're a fucking ginger. So then he calls him.
And he's like, hey, we're both touched by fire. I could see.
Oh, yeah, that was really cool.
And he was like, oh, well, how'd it happen? What happened? You
fuck off.
Yeah, he's like, fucking leave me alone.
Get your fucking hand away from me, you fuck.
Yeah. Now, some people were saying, because now the Hound's going to King's Landing, right, with the wight?
Yeah.
Clegane Bowl.
There we go.
That's it.
That's right.
And so,
interesting.
The other theory I read, and this was a Redditor, and a news article picked it up. This guy was predicting for the finale, they're going to be in front of Daenerys. In front of Cersei. So there's going to be some meeting where like Jon and Daenerys are going to be, and Cersei's going to go nuts, screw them all over, and try and kill Daenerys and Jon the same way the Mad King burned down the city.
With some wildfire?
With some wildfire. But because Daenerys is Targaryen...
She's the unburnt. Oh,
Jon
and then
Snow.
Jon's going to... The same thing's going to happen.
He's saying the final shot is the fire is going to build down, and you're going to see both of them, and they're all going to be shocked because none of them were hurt.
Now, but Jon Snow's been hurt by fire, has he not?
Yes, but
he healed quickly?
I don't know. Maybe they're going to bang.
Or maybe now that he's near the dragons and near Daenerys, like her magic energy is rubbing
touching
off.
The dragon and
touching
then
the dragon.
The coitus.
Do you think that now? What if the same thing happens with Tyrion? The coitus.
It might happen.
The dragon coitus.
Yes.
Your dragon raped me.
That's what this guy's predicted. It sounded very dramatic.
Idea.
The other prediction, the obvious one's like the wall's going to fall. I've been saying that. I thought that was going to happen like 3 seasons ago.
Reddit. Where you been?
Reddit.
Do you think anything else is going to happen with the Night King? You think it's going to be... Now, I think, isn't it rumored that the finale is like 90 minutes? That's what I heard.
This one was 71, the next one's 81.
81.
81 minutes.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, why does it have to be rumored? It's made.
The rumor is it's 2 weeks long.
The rumor is the finale is coming next.
Now, Sildari on Twitter, remember he sent that direct message to both of us?
Yes.
He said something was... I didn't know what the hell he was talking about until today.
That this episode that just aired had been leaked.
So what did we predict that we were right about? I knew I said I wanted to see the Hound ride a dragon. I got that. We've been saying for a long time we're going to see undead dragons. But I think everyone's been saying that.
Well, that's why I knew it was going to happen. Once she showed up there...
Yeah.
I was like... And then he kills that dragon, the Night King, kills the dragon. You knew that dragon was coming back.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think he really... here's the thing. Why I think this is why the Night King didn't, why didn't he go after Drogon? Because he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't know who Drogon is, maybe. He doesn't give a fuck about who Daenerys is or anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he gives a shit. I think the only person that he actually cares about... or not cares about, but, would pay attention to is Bran, because they have this connection, because he's the three-eyed raven. Other than that, unless he has the same abilities, I thought Bran could see the future. That was my other thing. Can he only see the past? And then he can kind of see what's going on in the present in other places while it's happening? Or can he also see the future? Because I was like, why isn't Bran, fucking... saying, hey, Jon, don't follow this plan, it's bad. Daenerys will lose a dragon and everybody... And I already know that you win and everybody wins, and this is how you do it. Because he gives Arya that dagger, and he gives it to her for a reason.
I don't think
he doesn't just arbitrarily give it to her, does he? Or maybe he does.
He can see the past. Maybe he has quick little visions of the future, but he can't see it, coherently. Maybe slight predictions.
He gets more of a sense of it.
Because didn't he have a vision of the tree where the three-eyed raven was, right? Remember when...
I thought he did. And dreams, I think.
Yeah, so that's a...
He was green seeing, or maybe that was only a Jojen Reed thing.
Yeah.
And Bran didn't have that ability,
Could
but
he have
Jojen
evolved
did.
into a dragon at that point?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
he fucking could have.
Maybe he did.
And that dragon was killed.
Yeah, and he wanted the dragon to be killed because now he can warg into the undead dragon and constantly be there, seeing what they're up to.
No, but see, if you warg into something, this is something that comes up in the books. If you warg into something, and let's say you're warged into your
poodle,
your poodle, exactly,
little Spencer,
and your poodle is killed, and you're in it. Okay, that's bad. You're fucked. They talk about that in the book. I think that means that you die.
Or I become like a Hodor.
Or you become like a vegetable. Or maybe you can try and make it back. And I think there was actually... No, I can't remember. But I think in A Dance with Dragons, maybe in the prelude, there's a scene where there's a guy who's warging, and then there's a thing, and he's like... His body is dying, and he wargs into like an animal. So he can keep... He's actually alive, but he's not a human anymore. He's like in an owl or some shit. I think that happens.
Yeah, I think you're right. I vaguely remember that.
Now, they're not getting into all that because they really only do Bran warging, even though Arya has warg dreams because she goes into Nymeria, because when she dreams in Braavos or whatever, she dreams that she's a wolf leading some big pack and they're attacking men and Lannister, and all this stuff, and that's actually happening. Same thing, there's like, they all have the same kind of connection. They're all kind of able to do, but they're not doing that. But that is a thing that happens. So now, Bran's got to be careful. That's where I was thinking when, in the last episode, Bran's warging into all these birds. Is he
only in
called?
one?
A murder of crows.
Is he in the murder of crows, or is he in only one?
He's all of them, I think.
He's all
I
of
think
them?
he's flipping around because I think the eyes are flashing.
I got you.
And so I think he's individually like bouncing back and forth.
All right.
And then you see the Night King, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And then all those things, like, then if they killed those
he looks-
birds and Bran was warging in them, that would have been really bad for Bran. He could have been in trouble. It's not like you can just warg and then that's it. Yeah, so interesting.
Will we see zombie Hodor?
No, definitely not.
Will we see zombie... We saw zombie bear.
We're obviously going to see zombie dragon at some point.
Zombie dragon. Zombie Nymeria?
No.
No?
No.
Zombie...
Because she's not beyond the wall, Nymeria. She's just in the forests out there.
Now, that's a polar bear, right?
Huh?
The bear that attacked them?
Oh, I think you meant Nymeria. I was like, no, she's a fucking wolf.
Now, that's an otter, right? A species of otter?
Now,
That's adorable,
I could
right?
Be wrong, but
they hold hands in the
that is
water.
a goldfish. Yes. I don't know. It was a big bear, though.
It was gigantic, yeah. So maybe there's like dire polar bears. I don't know.
Dire bears?
Dire bears. Bugbears. Bugbears.
Bugbears.
You know what a bugbear is?
No, what's a bugbear?
Oh, you never played D&D online with us? Yeah. That was like a...
Or I did, but briefly. I didn't get that far.
That's a... Oh, yeah, we tried to have a resurgence, and only me and Boss played.
Yeah, Jingles and I started to play a little bit, because Jingles had played a long time ago.
Yeah, it's a bugbear.
Bugbear.
I'll show you a bugbear.
Show me a bugbear. While I get ice.
Yeah, they're kind of like orcs, but like hairy orcs. Yeah, I just always thought the name was so stupid. Bugbear. It's a bugbear. That's a bugbear.
What?
That's a bugbear.
There's no bug.
There's no buggish.
There's no
element.
bug to it.
I think it means maybe like they bug you. Hey, quit bugging me, bear guy.
It bugs me that there's nothing buggy about you.
It's an owl bear.
What are the owl bears called in WoW?
Oh, the moonkin.
Moonkin.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
WoW's become such trash.
Have you paid any attention to it recently?
Well, Blizzard is now not even Blizzard. It's like Activision Blizzard or something.
What? Really?
It's just a...
I thought Activision went out of business after Turok 64, a game which I had received as a gift as a child.
Yes, Activision Blizzard. I don't know. It's just they grew up and it became a big corporate thing. They stopped listening to the fans, and then there was that... I really started hating them after they shut down that fan maintained like server that kept like the original WoW, because they changed WoW so much, and all these people, thousands of people, love the original game of WoW. I loved it too.
Yeah.
And I wish I had known about it sooner, because I only heard about it when they shut down the server. And I was like, fuck, I would have played that. Like,
definitely.
Yeah.
Would have made a paladin, remade a paladin.
And they and like people will ask, like, oh, can you please just can you guys host a server of like the old days of WoW? And they're just like, no. Well,
Why?
then fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Why are you being such a dick?
Yeah, the game that's out now is not the game I paid for when I got it. You're not letting people have it. No, stupid.
Well, the game is so weird now. It's like it's frustrating because here's another thing that I don't like about these games. We probably talked about this before, but when we first started playing WoW when it had first come out, the game was hard, very hard.
What do you mean?
To do what you needed to do, to level, to get the equipment that you needed, to get items, to make these certain things. I remember a friend of ours was trying to get a pristine black diamond or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I
You know,
what
the
you mean.
auction house, like quests.
Yeah, but that's...
Things were much more difficult. I'm
If you
saying
played-
the amount of gold you needed to purchase, like to mount, to learn to ride and to get a mount.
Right.
All this kind of stuff.
If you played EverQuest, WoW is very easy.
No. I'm not saying that it's compared to other things, but I'm saying compared to what it is now, WoW was hard.
Yeah.
Because now it is boring.
Now it's like, I've heard it's like an iPhone game app.
It's
You
like,
just
yeah, you can just...
in for a few minutes.
It's really not... The challenge isn't there, and it's just... Because I remember before we stopped playing, if you wanted to do things like for the game, it just seemed more like a chore. After somebody, I gotta go mine this so I can get ingredients for my recipe.
Yeah,
so
what was
I
that-
can blacksmith
what
like
was that-
true whatever.
What was that dungeon? It was like a dwarven dungeon, but it was all sand and pyramid stuff. Ungawar or something like that. And at the end, you're trying to fight a giant stone monster.
What?
Me, you, and Boss would do it all the time. You just go. It was like good gold. You just rush through it.
Oh, Dead Mines? The Dead Mines?
No. This was off
Namragan?
off of the lake, the big dwarf lake area. Kind of go off to the side.
Yeah, wasn't it Namragan?
Namragan is where the gnomes were.
Yeah, but it wasn't by... Was it near Ironforge, or was it farther away?
it was further away. All right, this is not interesting to anyone listening.
I want to know what it was. Obviously not, because I'm thinking of that area, and so now I'm trying to think of Upper Blackrock Spire, but that's not it.
No, it was like a level 20, 30.
Was it Strathholm or whatever?
I think it was Uldaman.
Oh my god! I completely forgot about this fucking thing.
Yeah, remember in the
Yes.
stone things? Yeah.
Wow, I forgot about that.
I don't know why I brought that up, but
Wow, I forgot that one existed. That's hilarious.
it's probably not even there anymore.
Well, it's so different, like, to get... You want a mount? You get a mount at level 20 or whatever. You know what I mean? All kinds of stuff. I had to run everywhere until I was level 40. Getting killed.
Well, in EverQuest, the game never explained anything. You would have to like know certain people, and they would tell you certain things, or like if you would find an NPC, certain key words would be highlighted, and then you would include those keywords in a response to the NPC. Then they would tell you more. It was so
Oh my
obscure.
God.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I never. The only things I got out of that game was just like I learned
Frustration and...
I learned what grinding is, because that's all it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And I learned what like dying in a spot where there's no chance you can find your body and you just lose everything.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's when I stopped playing.
Yeah, that is frustrating. Because
And I
you
just
lose all
hope-
your stuff. That was the one thing, at least, like, with WoW, you would take damage. Obviously, WoW, compared to EverQuest, was easy right from the beginning.
Right.
But now WoW is like... It's very different. Very different.
Last time I checked, I don't know, maybe it's completely revamped.
Well, the thing with WoW that I don't like is that now things have happened to the game. So if you just started playing now, like there's already things that have happened to the game that will never go back to the way it was before.
Yeah.
That's why they won't change to have that server. Because they are like, whatever, this expansion, Cataclysm, well, the Cataclysm occurred, so now all this shit is destroyed over here.
Well, they changed. Now it's different.
So
That's
now
what they
it's,
said.
yeah, exactly. So now this area that we would have played in, like if we went into whatever zone, is now totally different. Or it's not there anymore. Or it's, whatever. It's fucking stupid.
All right.
Anyway, I don't remember what the point was. Star Trek Enterprise.
Well, hold on. What's Sansa going to do here?
Sansa is in a pickle because Arya was duped somewhat. Not duped. I thought at first she was duped, but it turns out she wasn't. She was just led there to this point where Littlefinger is aware that Arya is following him the whole time, and it turns out, I forgot, that back when Sansa was still trapped with Joffrey,
Like season
2 or something.
Yeah.
Season 2. They make
season
Sansa.
1.
Was it season 1?
Because it was to get Ned.
I thought it was to get Robb. I thought Ned was already killed.
To get Robb. Okay, yes, okay. Yes.
I don't know. You could be.
No, wasn't it to get Ned?
Maybe
because
it was to get
Arya
Ned.
says, like, I was there by the
no.
Statue of Baelor.
Ned was captured, and they wanted to get Robb to then come. Ned was still alive.
So that was all the way back
So
from
it was
season
season
1. Holy shit.
That's why I didn't remember this shit. That's why I was saying to my wife, I was like, this is a fake scroll.
It's all spooky magic tricks.
No, I was like,
Littlefinger trickster. It's
Littlefinger does it again.
He's like a long mustache.
Salvador Dali,
Sneaking around.
forever will never die mustache. And I thought it was Littlefinger had staged all this shit so that Arya would find this fake scroll that he planted to put her against Arya.
Right.
Pin her? Pit.
Yeah. You pit someone against someone else.
P-I-T.
P-I-T.
Okay.
Like a pit bull.
Didn't seem right for some reason.
To pin her?
Pin her or put her? I was like, I'm butchering this. I haven't said that expression in a dog's year.
Oh, man, it's a bunch of hooey is what it is.
Yeah, well, I'm off the loop.
23 Skidoo.
I'm off the loop. These are all actual things that my wife has said. She's terrible at expressions.
Was she from 1923?
A dog's year. I'm like, no, it's a dog. You mean a dog's age?
Oh, you want to hear something?
And a dog's age. Off the loop? I was like, you mean I'm out of the loop and off the hook? I was like, because you understand exactly what she means, but it's hilarious.
Okay, what if you don't understand? Okay, let me give you a scenario here.
Okay.
Pretend today was Saturday.
Okay.
We're in the weekend. How would you
'Cause it's
refer?
Saturday.
How would you refer to this weekend?
This weekend.
It is this weekend,
Right.
How would you refer to the weekend coming up?
I would say either next weekend or this coming weekend.
This coming weekend. That's
Yeah.
a new one. Because my girlfriend will say, "Oh, this weekend we're going to be doing this," and it'll be Saturday morning. This weekend we'll be doing this. In my mind, I'm like, we're in the weekend, so it's this weekend. Am I wrong for thinking that?
See, it can be confusing. I think I might initially be led to believe that, this weekend meaning this coming weekend, because why wouldn't you just say today?
Okay, so maybe I have a problem.
Well, I think it's your problem there.
Okay, it's my problem?
I think on that one, on
Okay.
that specific one, it's your problem, because I'm always extremely aware of how I phrase these things, because I always have to clarify with people, because everybody has their own meaning about this kind of thing, as
Yeah.
you just pointed out.
Yes.
Right? Because if I were to say next weekend, right? So today we are recording on a Wednesday.
Right, but pretend
okay?
today's Saturday and you say next weekend. Am I to imply it's not this weekend?
No, next weekend. If it's Saturday and I'm saying next weekend, I'm implying a week from today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My girlfriend implies 2 weeks from that day.
Wow, that is wrong.
That's wrong, right?
I think that's wrong.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, because
I thought it was crazy.
If today's Saturday and I say next weekend, that means a week from today.
Okay.
A week from this day of Saturday.
Okay.
Now, some people do. Now, for example, today is Wednesday. So if I said to you next weekend, what weekend does that mean to you?
Blood just shot out of my ears.
Your eyes popped out of your head.
Next weekend from today. I'm going... My immediate assumption, you mean this weekend.
See, that's what people do.
But that's wrong, right? You mean the weekend after this weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this weekend is the coming weekend. Next weekend would be the weekend after that. That's how I would...
Is there a word
say.
for the weekend after that?
Double next weekend.
Ooh, double next.
No, that's why I'm always like, this coming weekend. Or, a week from today.
Okay.
I always try and be so clear, because otherwise people would be like what you just said, like what your girlfriend said, or like what we're talking about, and be like, oh yeah, next weekend, and then you think it's going to happen. It's like, no, I didn't mean this weekend. I meant the weekend after that
Just
weekend.
give me a date. That's all I'm asking
Just
for.
say the 7th. That's what you meant.
Oh, God. Okay, so if I say to you right now, hey, this Wednesday night, I'm going to be giving you $20.
See, all right.
What does that mean to you?
I would think that you mean a week from today.
Okay.
Because why wouldn't you just say, hey, right now I'm going to give you $20? or tonight.
Okay. So
or that's
this
just
and
people
next.
trying to be
okay.
too fancy.
Do they have this problem in the UK? The inventor? Can you in Scotland over there? How do you?
I don't think he's listening anymore.
It's Saturday.
He's just facing a corner, drooling.
If it's a Saturday and 2 weeks from that Saturday, you want to tell someone something about it, how do you say it?
Answer me!
Oh, you bloody ball bag!
you fucking bull bag.
Just give him the bloody date.
So anyway, Arya finds the scroll that Sansa wrote, and she's
Mystery
like,
of the
"Fuck you,
Scrolls."
Sansa! I fucking knew it.
Nah,
You're
nah,
nothing
nah,
but a
nah.
stupid, prissy bitch." And she starts getting all tough with her and threatening her. And there was a very creepy scene where then when Sansa breaks into Arya's room, and she's looking for what exactly?
Oh, she wants to try and get that paper.
She knows at that point that she has it?
Yeah, she walked away with it. Arya has it. Arya
Oh,
confronted
that
her
was
and
after
talked-
the confrontation.
And he was like,
yes,
oh,
that was after the confrontation.
Arya was telling the
Okay.
story where she used to shoot the arrow, and then one day she got the bullseye, and she heard like
Yeah.
the golf.
Yeah, great fucking
sarcastic
job.
Golf,
Finally.
golf clap, I said. Golf clap.
Golf.
Golf
Guys want to
calp.
go play golf?
Golf calp.
I'm going golfing this week with...
See, that's it. I probably had like dyslexia. That's why the this and next.
Just,
Glyph, glouf.
but you added an L. Is there a disease
golf,
for that?
Golf clap. I said golf calp, I would have said.
Oh, but you still at golf. You said golf.
Yeah,
so
I'm adding the-
GLOLF.
I'm putting the L in the wrong spot. Instead of
you've-
golf, it's glulf.
Oh, you said golf cap,
Oh, so I'm double.
or did you
double
say
dyslexic.
golf clap, which just means you have a disease where you add L's to things.
I think that's it. Yes.
So that's a fun disease.
yeah.
Hooray!
So what do you do? All right. So
So then Sansa finds the faces, and she's like, "The fuck? The hell is this?" And then she seemed pretty calm about it, actually.
she should have said that on there. The fuck.
The fuck is this shit? You fucking kidding me?
hell's
There's
this
faces
happy
in
horse
here.
shit?
What are you using these for? She's going. What
Are you
these-
doing drugs?
What
are
are
you
these-
doing drugs?
Answer me, young lady. What are these for?
You just wait till John gets home.
You've got a sack full of faces, and you're giving me shit? What have you been doing?
Oh, actually, yeah. So I had a question. Is Arya just totally crazy? Keeping in mind, she baked people into pies and served it to that guy.
Oh boy, she did do that.
Doesn't that imply she's...
That took a lot of time.
Yeah, that's procedural, psychotic, madness.
That is insane. She's definitely... Here's the thing, too. This is...
The bitch be crazy?
Bitches be crazy. The other thing is that I realized Sansa, I guess... Did we talk about this last time? I can't remember when this came up. You know, Sansa's watching Arya, and they're talking... And when she's fighting Brienne...
Yeah,
and
we touched on that.
I thought the whole thing was that... Oh, wow, you know, like... this is what she can do now and all this stuff, and like they just realized like we've both been through a lot, you know what I mean? But it was really like Sansa's really like Arya's dangerous and she has to be watched carefully now.
It also,
Apparently that's what it was.
It also might be Littlefinger's like, oh wow, look, she's like an assassin
Because
and killer.
now, because Littlefinger looks at that and because I was watching one of the after thought things where it's like DB
Game of
Weiss,
Thrones afterthought. After dinner thoughts.
Oh, I just had a big heavy meal of pasta.
It's over Game of Thrones and throw up
Talking
everywhere.
about Game of Thrones. You know, one of the show creator people is like...
D.B. Weiss.
Yeah, or David Benioff is like, yeah, they're, you know, Sansa's watching and Littlefinger's like, hey now, here's an opportunity because he sees Sansa looking at Arya fighting and he realizes Sansa's like really like nervous and scared that Arya... this is not exactly...
Well-
this is not his exact words, but that's like the point that he sees, oh, there's distrust here and there's fear here, and now I can use that to my... Because I didn't get that at all. Just like I didn't get how they're talking about, oh, you can really feel the heat off of that stare between Daenerys and Jon Snow.
I totally want to ship them.
And I'm like, what? So I didn't.
maybe-
There's things that they claim are happening in the show between characters that I am not picking up on at all. That's the other thing. The kind of this laziness, this lazy writing.
Right. And also, maybe Littlefinger's looking at... He's realizing Sansa's looking at Arya, and he's noticing, like, Sansa's realizing, I don't really know this person at all anymore. Like, she's going... So he sees, like, okay, there's a wedge.
Maybe, yeah.
And he just remembered, oh, okay, she wrote that note.
He's like, I fought that battle.
He
in my
might not even
mind.
know exactly...
I fought it in my mind.
He doesn't know exactly what's going to happen. He's
Yeah.
just kind of testing the waters. Like, what if she found this note?
I mean, it makes sense. He might as well try and fuck
But
with
doesn't
them
Arya-
to see if something works.
Doesn't Arya think it... Like, why was Littlefinger looking for this scroll? And why did he hide it?
See, that's the overconfidence, and that's the thing. She played right into his hands because
But she's
that
not thinking
trumps everything else. That he.
We don't speak that word in my house.
Look, you're gonna follow my plan. You're gonna find the scroll.
What is there? What's another word for Trump? That
Fart.
no, you know when you trump something.
Oh,
like,
when you one up,
yeah, that one up
top it.
That tops. Okay, tops.
Yeah. Anyway,
You can say whatever you want.
I don't know. Yeah, so she does exactly what Littlefinger, I think, hopes. She finds the scroll, but then she's distracted by what the scroll says, and that Sansa wrote that, and so that, and the fact that then her father died, and everything that comes around it, the emotions take over. So she forgets about why would Littlefinger have this scroll.
Right.
She's just focusing on Sansa. That fucking bitch. I knew it. Like, you can't trust her, and this is her fault. And meanwhile, Sansa's like, hello? Everyone's here because of me. Why would I do this? I got her house back.
All right.
And then Arya basically threatens Sansa. I think Arya's going to leave.
But it was that weird... I don't understand, like, picking up the knife, handing her the knife.
Well, she was just, like, fucking with her, I think. And then she's like...
And a little nitpick, I would have liked it better if Arya picked up the knife more gracefully, because it kind of seemed like a little kid picking up a knife. Just point. I would have done a few more takes where it's like more elegantly picking it up, because it was very much like...
Maybe that's why she was so tired, because, like, pick that fucking knife up
It's
again.
been a 30.
You fucking... You gonna pick that fucking knife up again. You're drunk. I haven't had too much to drink. You're a fucking brat. You're a kid.
Now, the thing about this bear scene, didn't it almost seem like there were two bears?
Yeah, because the light came from different angles.
Yeah, it seemed like he was running from it, then it came from the side. Well, I guess it's
Also,
circling
getting in
around
a
them.
circle doesn't do shit. The bear decimated them.
Yeah, it was a giant bear.
What about the Hound? He failed that test. It was like, let's see how the Hound reacts to fire. He didn't react well, I guess which makes sense, because Thoros basically dies because he couldn't get to him because the fire was there. He's too afraid.
Now, I've said...
Really humanized the Hound.
I said this before. Don't you get with the flaming swords? I don't know. It just reminds me too much of Jedis doing...
Oh, maybe.
That was just my immediate thought when
I
I
didn't
see
think it was cool at all. I just didn't really think anything of it. And all I pictured was you hear like this kind of like shring, and I just pictured, oh, he's got like a flint or something in his glove. There's something in his glove that when he slides it, it makes a spark, and he
you
coats the sword with something.
But it's...
And
Really?
that's what... that was mine. This is all
No,
my...
isn't it magic? It's supposed to be magic.
Yeah, but why does he have to put his hand in front of it? And I think he like rubs his hand in one scene on the sword. But then in another scene, you see he doesn't do shit. But
Yeah.
you hear this sound.
I think it's all magic. Maybe he's just like imbuing it or something, like
Maybe. I
doing
don't
like
know.
a prayer or
But
spell
isn't there a
on it.
thing with Thoros where in the... No, I'm not doing a whole thing diving down this hole, but isn't there a thing in the books? In the
Well,
books,
actually, according to my literary calculations,
if you go to chapter 27, line 6, paragraph 5...
Before we do that, everyone hand in your homework. And remember, essays due Tuesday.
Don't they have a thing where Thoros talked about how... it must have been Thoros. They talk about how at a tournament he would do this like with the flaming sword, but it was all like they talk about what he did to make it flame. It was like a trick.
Was it before the Lord of Light?
It was before. It's in the books. Somebody's talking about it. I can't remember which book and when it happened and who's talking about it, but I feel like I do remember this part of the book where somebody's talking about Thoros and like, oh yeah, that was bullshit. You know, he used to do this and that's what would make the sword light up.
I remember there was
it
a guy
wasn't
in a
like
tournament.
actual magic or something, but that's before, I think. This is they're referencing something that happens in the past, like a tourney that's in the past.
Okay.
So I think that's part of why I assumed that it was like a trick that they're doing to make the sword light up.
No, I assumed it was all magic. I mean, you have undead running around, so flaming sword doesn't seem too preposterous to me.
I guess, I don't know. Also, don't you think that if that Beric is hiding, he's got to have something under that eye patch, right?
An eye socket?
Wouldn't you keep something
in your eye socket?
Wouldn't you? It's like an extra secret pocket.
It's not going to be like touching your brain or something. I don't know.
Is that how it works?
Isn't there like a very small membrane right behind the eye and then the brain's behind that?
So all he has is a fucking rag around to protect it?
No,
well, I mean, I guess that's just as good as the soft eyeball tissue.
Maybe if you put it into a little pouch that can't get infections on it. I don't know. It's disgusting.
I don't know. I feel like it's a very pirate-like thing to do.
Yeah, go me doubloons are in me left socket.
I keep me most treasured treasures in my face.
Oh man. Let's talk about predictions for the finale. It's over. Next week it's over.
I can't believe that went fast. Less than a month. It's less than 2 months.
Yeah.
So, wow. Crazy.
Tell us how you think it's going to end.
Yeah, why are we doing all the talking?
Yeah, what the hell is this?
Where are you?
I was just telling Dexter before the YouTube adpocalypse finally hit us. We were doing good for... It's not like we make pennies on YouTube, but I've always been waiting...
How am I supposed to live my crazy rich lifestyle now?
How am I supposed to do my coke? We finally got the notice from YouTube, and it says, hey, all these videos, these aren't really suitable for most advertisers. And I look through the list, it's like everything we've done. Well, it's because, we talk about wieners and poop.
Right.
Jizz.
Anal fucking.
How do you talk about Game of Thrones and not be...
Talk about jizz.
What I don't understand, like if we're talking about something that has nudity, profanity, violence in it...
Cum slavery.
But HBO doesn't have sponsors, right? Yeah, it's all...
We are the sponsors.
Yeah. Okay.
It's premium cable.
Right.
I like premium cable.
Well, even with Walking Dead, like over-the-top violence...
Oh, yeah.
Crazy shit going on. Like most of our Walking Dead videos, it all said, "Oh, this isn't a doesn't Walking Dead have tons of advertisers
We're talking about
in
what
AMC?
they did, man.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Babies R Us still has commercials for Walking Dead, doesn't it?
And I get it. We're the little guy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we weren't making anything off this.
It doesn't matter.
You'd still be doing the same shit.
We can still promote Dr. Dingle's dildos.
Yeah,
Put it in your butt.
That's the way it's done.
It vibrates.
Dr. Dingle's
All of
dildo.
my premium pre-owned dildos.
I use Dr. Dingle's dildos every day.
They arrive vibrating already.
That's how you know it's in the box. Everyone in the neighborhood knows.
Put it in any hole you want. Put it in your own hole. Put it in the keyhole. Put it in your dog.
What? Well, maybe we shouldn't encourage sexual.
Shouldn't be. We shouldn't
encourage sexual assault towards an animal. All right, so there's our impromptu commercial.
Wow, that was a good one.
So I think that Reddit user, he had a good idea for what the finale could be with the dragons with the fire and everything.
Now Tyrion might also be one of those people that gets burned, and surprise, he doesn't. I also do like our idea of. We turn around to a dramatic hair flipping from Varys, and he's got gorgeous, long, blonde Robert Plant-like locks.
He takes out an electric guitar. It's like Ingvid, what was it? Ingvid Malmsteen or something, that Swedish.
Oh, like the most insane. The guy sounds like he's playing with 12 fingers. Yeah. Yeah, Ingwe Malmsteen or
Ingwe
something?
Malmsteen, yeah. He was that was like 80s, right? Late 80s?
Maybe.
Yeah.
What was the guy? There was a guy that I think it was Lessons.
I like Joe Stump. Oh,
Yes, Joe Stump.
Oh, he ripped his face off. Okay. All right, sorry.
Oh,
we're
I
ju-
guess that's
we're just
why he
watching the
was,
scene where the Hound tries to cover the screaming from the wight they captured. The one wight that didn't go down.
And apparently a white scream beckons all of the other...
Very quickly, because they are the winter.
I have another question. Jon Snow kills this White Walker, right? That they encounter in the small group. Whatever, a scouting group, I guess.
They were thirsty, looking for water.
Is that what it was?
Sure.
Sure. The dead need to drink.
Or maybe they sensed that there was some heat. There was that camp there. What the hell was that little camp there? That wasn't theirs, right?
It might have been.
Oh, that was Benjen's. It had to be.
It must have been.
That was Benjen's camp, yeah. So he was hiding out there because
shit.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Yeah, why the fuck...
I completely forgot that little camp was there.
Yeah, why was that camp there?
Because they all came upon it at the same time.
I guess it was Benjen's.
Yeah, it had to be Benjen.
Yeah, well, it doesn't make any sense. Oh, why does Benjen need a fire? He's fucking undead.
Well, maybe for the horse. I don't know. He probably needs to eat, right?
Oh, I guess. I don't know. But,
Does he poop?
I forgot what I was going to ask. Oh. How many White Walkers are there? Can the Night King make more? And who is he turning into a White Walker? Because they all look the same. And there's always 4 or something. There's always at least 4 of them, including the Night King. In this scene, in this episode, we have the Night King and 4 White Walkers behind him, like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse or something.
Right.
Now,
Well,
Jon Snow's killed. That's the second or third one of those particular guys, of these bosses, I guess we'll call them, like
mini bosses.
mini bosses that he's killed. This one he did quite easily, I gotta say. So, but now is that one that, like, do they come back? Is that the same one, like a Cylon that he's fought before, and he gets downloaded into a new White Walker body?
Maybe.
Because they all
I
have
don't know.
that same. They all have the same look. They don't look any like the rest of the whites that are running around. They're just whoever they were, and at whatever level of decay that they've reached.
Well, remember that one scene we saw a few seasons ago where you see the baby being turned into the White Walker?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, but he's got to grow up.
I would love to know what's way up north, like what's going on up there, whatever fortress or whatever that was.
Where's that baby now?
Growing up to be a White Walker? I don't. That's the thing. They might have a whole nursery. There might be a whole society.
What do they do? I guess they don't need to eat.
Like, if I let my imagination run, I can really picture like a whole society of these White Walkers, these people who just live in the bitter cold, undead. And then when it gets cold enough, hey, let's start fucking things up down here.
Yeah.
Maybe they just do it for fun. Just
and
to see what
then
they can
he's
do.
like, the Night King's like, oh, this fucking asshole killed another one of my buddies. I'll take one more of you guys to come down here, because I just like to have a small crew around
Like, there
me.
might be White Walkers walking here and there, and maybe, like, one will join his group, and he'll send, like, one away. But he always wants to have at least 3 or 4 with him or something like that.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, but, yeah, how many of those kinds are there? I think it's got to be, like you say, like a kind of small society. There must be. He's turning big. Craster has been doing that, giving them these babies.
The thing I like about
He's
Craster
been doing
is that
for a long time.
Craster implies you can make a pact with these things, which is what What I think is ultimately going to happen. Like, you can't win against the dead, because the more they kill, the stronger they get. The last thing you want to do is start fighting them. So you have to.
Beric Dondarrion even says, like, it's the enemy that always wins, but we still have to fight him.
Yeah. Well, just death in general, and also literally.
But that's that's what I mean.
The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But we are the Walking Dead. Coral.
John.
God. But
Where are the others?
yeah, what pact could you make with them so that they would just stop? And then
I guess, like, all right, fine. Look, I'll give you my babies. It's okay.
Is that all they want? They just want the babies?
Babies? I guess. Just
want
so
the
that they
babies?
can. He looks and he's like, "Oh, cute," and then he turns it into one of him.
Coochie coo.
There's got to be something else like the enemy should want something. What do they want? They just want complete global domination?
I want everywhere to be cold.
Is that all they want?
Is that it? Darkness?
Because if that's really what they want, then yeah, ultimately what can you do?
What did Sauron want?
Especially Sauron wanted
just dominion, right?
the power
to cover the world in darkness.
Yeah. That's different. That's high fantasy versus...
No, but I'm saying, like, I guess I'm just basing it on, like, the concept of, what is that? Fine, you get that. Then what? You know what I mean? He just wants control over everything.
Yeah, but because
They're
he's like
control
he's
freaks.
he's like pure evil. But
So
Game
is
of
the
Thrones,
Night King.
Yeah, but well, is he?
I think so.
But or do we? Is he have a motive that we don't know yet? That's the thing. Perhaps we have to, like Tyrion said, understand our enemies, even though he's talking about the Lannisters.
Maybe
Maybe
you're
it's
right.
going to work for the dead, for the wights.
Well, I guess we're gonna get a
Maybe
glimpse into that.
Benjen's going to be the key to that. Maybe.
Benjen's dead.
You think he's dead?
I think he's dead.
I really hope not.
I think
because
that Jon's gonna be like fighting in a battle, and he's gonna be like in the middle of it. He's
Unky
gonna do
Benj!
Like Unky!
Oh no!
My Unky!
What I do, Unky Benj?
Not me Unky Benj! Oh no!
There's no time for crying now.
Get him together, lad.
He's always there.
Always like on his shoulder.
He like pops out of his pocket. Hey, no time for crying.
No time for crying. We got a fighting to do.
Hand me an onion.
Get your shit together.
Oh man.
I liked the prayer that Beric gave. I thought that was.
Well, Thoros of Myr, yeah, he passes away.
You lost your lives or whatever. What does
Again,
it say? You only got one life left.
The fuck you think is
Game
gonna happen?
over. Game over, man.
You take an elderly alcoholic to the Arctic. What do you think is gonna happen?
And he's been drinking the whole time. That can't be good.
Well, no, that's probably what kept him alive.
I know, but I'm saying, you drink something. I bet the rum made him feel nice and warm, but it's
Yeah.
also dehydrating him, and it's actually lowering his body temperature.
It's a disaster waiting to happen.
I can't believe that nobody's wearing a fucking hat. You're so right about that. What the fuck?
You've been outside, when it's so bitterly cold.
Every wildling should have a hat.
They should have.
They
a hat
should
and,
know.
And I wonder if, like, these actors, if one of them started saying, like, "Hey, shouldn't we be wearing hats?" The other
Shut
ones
the fuck up! We don't got money for fucking hats!
or no, not that. Like, hey, man, we're not going to be seen on screen, man. Shut up.
Look, yeah. The one guy, like Jon Snow's like, hey, look, I don't wear hats, okay?
I'm Kit Harington.
Yeah. I'm not going to wear, like, a hat and cover my great hair.
And then
I've done too much.
And then Beric Dondarrion's like, "Oh, what if my eye gets cured and I could take my eye patch off?" No, it's not in the bloody book.
The other thing, and now this is going along because we're just watching the episode
Well,
as
in
we're
case we missed
talking.
something.
Yeah, but it's funny because it's bringing all this stuff up. Beric just is like, they're talking. They just bury, or they have a little ceremony for Thoros, and they burn his body, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, look, by the way, let me point about 100 yards away. There's that Night King that we got to kill. Maybe that's why we're here."
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, how long has he been there? Staring?
All right, grab me the Dragonstone arrows and oh, what? What you mean? You forgot it?
And it's so funny because he's standing there and he's got like a spear for they're all holding a spear. They've got a spear for every one of them.
Well, don't they
just chuck the spears at them?
No, how
Done.
many spears does he have? Does he have 3?
Well, he's got one, and he's got 4 horsemen behind him, and they all have a spear.
Oh, okay.
And each one of them just tosses their spear over there.
Yeah, but what? Okay, so they miss. Now what?
Did you see the accuracy that he had? He got a fucking dragon in flight.
I don't think they have that many spears. And they can wait it out. They're the dead. They can wait forever.
Can't he just, like, put his hand to the ground, right?
And make
And then
ice?
stare at it for a second, and then as he raises his hand, like an ice spear just starts to come up, like follow his hand up. Can't he just do that? What are they made out of already?
Look, we've made it clear that whole scene doesn't make any sense. There's a lot. Why can't he just go down there, touch the water, and freeze it? Or
What is the Night King thinking, too? He's just standing there. They look up, and Beric's like, by the way, there's some creepos over there on that hill that have just been watching
think
us
the
the
Night
whole
King would
time.
get angry?
And they look, and there's a shot of them just staring at them. I was like, oh my, he's been staring the whole time.
oh, they caught us.
They caught me. Oh, the Night King watched me go wee.
You think if you flipped off the Night King, you get ticked off? Or you think he's just always angry all the time?
I don't think the Night King
Do you think he's even angry?
has thoughts like that.
Okay.
I don't think he even knows what that would mean. I don't think he gives a shit. I think he's just like, I'm the Night King. I think he's like a robot.
You think he's a robot? Okay.
Yeah, like he's just like on a mission to create more, like the dead, they're mine. I make the dead alive for my purposes, and he either makes them like him, or they're just animated corpses.
Okay.
And then he just wants to make everywhere winter and dark. That's honestly what I think. I don't think there's really any motive, because it speaks to this legend, because that old Nan would tell these kind of scary stories, but it turns out they're true. Because they were born in the summer, the long summer. They've never known winter, the kids. This is now the first winter that they've ever encountered. And all of these stories that old Nan would tell them, the Stark kids, I mean, now they're all basically accurate. They were real. But it's been
I
so
still would love
long.
to see a nice spider.
We're not going to see one.
No?
No, because they've gone right to the dragon. But we're not. I don't think we're going to see a spider, because I think for them now to introduce giant spiders would be too weird.
Okay.
Because they had the bears. They could have done the spiders, but they should have introduced it earlier. But anyway, they're not going to do that. I don't
Now,
think.
if they had
But that's the
one...
one because the children, they didn't know what they were doing. I think they're just like, Obsidian. What happens if we stick it in this guy's heart?
I think they knew what they were doing.
And then
though.
he converts. But I think when at that moment, that person not like dies in multiple ways. Obviously, he's killed, but that person's like soul or whatever, like they cease to be as a person, and now they're just this soulless robot on this mission to destroy everything. That's
the thing
what
I just thought is, imagine if these undead guys had at least like one or two giant undead.
They do though.
Yeah. What? But can you imagine if one was there? Couldn't it just walk through the water and reach them?
Yeah. But you know what's weird is because we saw that army marching.
We saw at least 3, I think.
Yeah, and we saw 3. Why doesn't one of the Night Kings just stand up? I mean, not stand up, just like ride one of them. One of the Night Kings. You know what I meant. The Night King or one of his buddies.
One of the Night Kings.
One of the Night Kings.
Another theory. There are 49 Night Kings.
We talked about it briefly before. The Hound is so stupid. Why didn't somebody tell the Hound stop throwing fucking
Fool of a
rocks?
took.
Because now the one jawless guy's like, hey, wait a minute.
Which is a very robot thing to do.
It is.
So now I was just thinking, like, what kind of deal can you make with a robot army? It's like Terminators.
You can't reason with this skeleton.
Well, then I don't know what to do. What's the plan here?
No, you don't reason with the skeleton. You reason with the White Walker, the Night King, and the White Walker. Even them.
Yeah.
But how do you reason with them?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even this plan, okay, we brought a wight back to show Cersei. Cersei goes, oh my god, I thought these were stories. Yes, let's all band together. And they all go north. Like, then what? What do you do?
You know, if you're Cersei and you're up there, or you have your Jaime up there, or somebody.
You're Jaime?
You're definitely Cersei's definitely telling somebody, or trying to do it herself, to stab her in the back, Daenerys in the back. There's no way that Cersei's just like, okay, I agree, let's do this, and then we'll have our little discussion about who rules the Seven Kingdoms. It's going to be, all right, yeah, sure. It's either going to be, like we said before, fuck you, I don't believe this shit, or you go deal with it, I'll wait here, and if you survive, then we'll fight. Or, fine, I agree, and then I would definitely have some kind of plan to fucking stab her in the back. Absolutely.
Do you think Cersei's going to become the Night Queen?
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Cersei wins.
Yeah.
Daenerys could easily lose. Daenerys is... I mean, that's one thing I like that they've done with Daenerys is, like, yeah, she has the dragons, but I've never felt that these dragons are safe.
Unstoppable
Yeah,
force,
exactly. Exactly. Yes, they're extremely dangerous, but every time they're, like, Drogon was almost killed. Right from the beginning, you thought, shit, like, be careful with these fucking dragons, because you're going to lose them.
Here's what I don't understand. Has she never seen, like, fantasy cartoons or anything? You can make dragon armor. It exists.
Oh, yeah.
You can strap on cool plates of armor all over dragons.
That's right.
I mean,
What the fuck?
Do that.
Now, see, that would be cool if have Gendry back with them.
Oh, yeah,
and
Gendry
he's
makes them-
like a smith, and now he makes dragon armor. He's like, I'm never going to let that happen again.
Even though in Scholar Gladiatoria he says, like, back in the day, like, if
Dragons were much different.
like if you were a smith, that doesn't mean like, oh, I can make swords, I can make hammer. Usually a smith, you would be
You had a focus.
specialization of
Yeah.
like, I can make swords. This guy can make really good helms.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But this is Game of Thrones.
It's Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
yes.
But that makes complete sense. It's unrealistic to think that any smith could make anything
Out of
ever.
metal.
Yeah.
Hand me a piece of iron.
I just look at a piece of metal and I think,
I make a car.
that's a sword. That's a armor. That's a frying pan. That's a metal shoe. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Anything? Anything else? I don't think we're going to see some massive
I'm looking at
battle
something.
next week. I don't think we're going to see... I think this is the big battle that we're going to... I mean, we've had a lot. You never know. And I will
Right.
say, the best episode of the season so far was when...
The first
I guess
attack
the
with
third...
dragon.
when the
Yeah.
dragon first comes, because
spoils of war.
that came out of nowhere to me.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
To me,
I
that was very
loved
well
how they
done.
directed that episode.
That was the most realistic.
Yes.
It didn't feel fan servicey. It felt.
It was fan service, but it didn't feel like that.
I said it was fan
It
servicey.
was so well
but
done.
it was good.
Yeah.
Like when some of I feel
It
it's
was
fan servicey.
logical fan service.
Yes.
It wasn't like Rogue One.
It wasn't like, let's-
Star Wars fan service.
Yeah, still haven't seen that.
Really?
Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, you know Disney's they're going to be taking off all their movies.
2019 or something.
Yeah,
They're starting their own streaming thing. That's why.
yeah, that's all right.
That's whatever.
I don't watch any Disney movies.
No, I mean I watch them when they're on there sometimes, but that's it.
Just the Pixar stuff, I guess.
But that's different.
Yeah,
Isn't
that's not
Pixar
even-
separate now? Isn't
Yeah.
isn't it Disney and Pixar or something?
Yes. As long as it's not Illumination. Fuck Illumination.
Why?
Or
What's
Illuminate-
Illumination?
They, Despicable Me, the Minions,
Oh, did you see that movie Sing?
Sing. They
It's
did.
Horrible.
Yeah, they're all horrible, and
There's
they make-
nothing funny at all.
and it makes tons of money.
Make tons of money.
Yeah.
That Matthew McConaughey. I just watched the movie Sing. I didn't finish it. I was watching it with my wife because she hadn't been feeling well, and so she was watching a lot of Netflix. And we're like, "Oh, okay." She watched the Moana movie or whatever with the Rock.
Moana?
I didn't see that one. She liked it,
I didn't see it either.
but that Sing movie again. So we're watching that. I was like, "Holy shit!" Matthew McConaughey is the lead role as the koala bear theater owner.
Yep.
There's just a lot of celebrities involved in that. I was like, I don't understand. What is the point of this movie? The Minions movie, I didn't like it at all. Now let's rip children's movies to shreds. Fuck the Minions movie.
It's Illumination Entertainment.
It's shitty.
They made Despicable Me, Hop, Dr. Seuss, The Lorax, Despicable Me 2, Minions, Secret Life of Pets, Sing, Despicable Me 3.
Oh, I didn't watch that Secret Life of Pets. I don't understand. There's nothing funny in these movies.
Yeah, every budget is around 70. The highest one is a recent 79 million. Each one makes the most.
Wow.
950 million, 543 million, 970 million. I mean,
I hate
It's
all
bad.
those movies.
because it's just going to make movies like into this corporate
Like the
Garb-
Emoji movie.
garbage machine. Yeah, but that flopped. That did
Yeah, but
very
that's
poorly.
a Sony Pictures piece of shit movie. They make garbage movies.
The next episode of Game of Thrones is called The Dragon and the Wolf. So we're going to finally get Jon Daenerys sex scene.
I'll do it wolf style.
Yeah.
I do it dragon style. I don't know what that means.
Rips his legs off. She breathes fire on his crotch
He just like something goes into his asshole and then he explodes.
into his
Ripped
asshole.
apart.
81 minutes, so a lot's going to happen.
This
There's
was
a lot
yeah.
to talk about.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Daenerys' winter coat?
Oh, I liked it. Stylish.
Okay, so that's for the ladies out there. It's
Yeah.
a fashion review. This guy's like rolled a natural D20 throwing a spear at a dragon
Well, there's a lot of blood that spills out of a
with
dragon.
a Vorgol blade.
It was really sad when the dragon dies and the other dragons are real sad.
Yeah, when I was watching this, I didn't know there was blood at first. I thought like he was starting to like fall apart, and he was slowly in mid-flight going to change into an undead dragon.
Oh my god, that would have been fucking horrible.
I know, that would have been so bad.
I was like, you know what was funny was I was immediately thinking that, like, they're gonna win everything, and then this section, this lake, will be known as like Dragonfall Lake. I immediately thought of like a D&D type of scenario, and like this becomes like a dungeon.
Pussy dragon water.
This becomes like a dungeon area, like where you go and it's like, oh, like that's Dragonfall Lake. Be careful. Some say that the dragon. But
can you swim in it to see the dragon bones? That'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think we basically covered everything except.
Well,
I don't know why
this...
Jon didn't.
Yes.
Jon did not have to waste everybody's time and get that dragon killed.
Could have just hopped on with everyone else.
Then Cold Hands could have easily just gone and left with Jon.
Yep.
Didn't make any sense.
Well, I think we've said it all.
Yeah.
It's about 2 hours worth of conversation.
Good lord.
It goes fast.
Do you think the Night King will ever speak?
Yes, and it's going to be super high-pitched and very feminine.
Daenerys!
Am I? And then it's going to cut the credits.
I will rule the world!
All right, I finally made it. I'm sitting the Iron Throne. Night King.
It's hot. It's hot down here. He wears like a Hawaiian shirt.
I'm going to Bermuda.
Mama, pretty mama.
All the zombies are like looking around, confused, slowly backing away. I'm a dog.
They all seem so annoyed by everything they do. Like, I'm not satisfied with this line of work. But what would I be satisfied with? Nothing, I guess.
Nobody likes their job.
Yep, time to get to work, hauling this dragon out of the lake.
All right.
Anyway.
Seeing as though I really have to pee, maybe we should wrap it up.
All right. Yep.
That's been Game of Thrones chat with Dexter and Oxnard.
Yeah, and I'm Dexter.
I'm Oxnard.